This is the Dale Not Dale Podcast, Season 3. On the podcast, we chillin' zest. Uncle Dale, Von Magnus. Yeah, we the best. Magnus in the cut. No shirt in sight. Spitting truth and jokes. Yeah, we keep it tight. Uncle Dale's wisdom. Dropping like gems. With Von's quick wit. We them boys, yeah, we damn. In our zone, we stay laughing to a new feat. Good ranches meet. Bring them good eats. We stay swangin', no words, never bland. Podcast kings on the mic, yeah, we grand. From the heart and the soul, our stories unfold. Raw and real, yeah, our tales is gold.
All right, we're back at it.
We're back.
Dude, it's been a long time. So as you can see, or may not see if you're listening, we have a special guest back in studio, Miss Angelica Jackson.
Thanks for having me again.
It's been a little bit.
I know. Yeah, been a year.
Been a year. Hey, please, I'll put a little closer to you. Yep. Which one?
What'd you say?
There you go. There you go. Okay. Yeah. So we got Angelica. So Angelica was in here about a year ago.
Yeah.
When we did our bro talk. Yeah. It just came up in memory. I text you.
Oh yeah.
It was our bro talks party. It's been a year since me and Vaughn been on the
juice.
Yeah,
been on the juice. I've been on a bunch of juices since then.
Dude.
Bringing back the drug dealer.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Take everything.
You can get everything prescription nowadays, though.
Huh?
I can get everything prescription nowadays.
Everything.
Test, DECA.
Yeah.
All of it is it used to be so taboo. Now it's like the thing.
Everyone talks about it, which is great because it's an issue, you know.
Yeah.
People keep it to themselves, and then other people aren't benefiting.
No, it's definitely good. So, yeah, so she was on a year ago. We brought her in to really talk about Botox and to get Botox and to really talk about the, I guess, the stigma around men getting it is no longer.
Yeah.
And it's really like, it's so out in the open now. Like, I think everybody's, back in the day, they always had did he get work done or not? Now it's like everybody's got work done.
And then it's like, why haven't you done this?
Exactly.
Why are you so wrinkly?
Well, really, it's so mainstream now that it's like there's no stigma around it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you see celebrities are getting better looking because they're comparing, like J-Lo's in her 50s.
Oh, she's so hot.
Like the Golden Girls. It's like we don't age like that anymore. Now we're taking care of ourselves.
Yeah. And
everyone is.
I think it's good. I love it because, like I said, one, you should take care of your body, you should take care of everything. And, why would you want to just age like terribly if you don't have to?
Yeah. And then you feel better too. Just mental health as well. You look good, you feel well.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
So, we got you back in. We're going to talk about some other stuff today. It's fun. So, Vaughn's been on semaglutide for about 6 months now.
He hasn't. I have not. I've never done that.
He's on the other juice.
Yeah. You know what? I need to get on, not semaglutide, but I want to get back on testosterone. Injectable. I'm never doing the pellets again.
Oh, yeah. You got to figure out what's good for you.
Yeah.
Well, he put a bunch up his butt like a shotgun shells.
I need to do it right this time.
Yeah.
So I need to, one of the things about doing the shots is a lot of times you have to go into the office once a week. I just don't have.
I have it where we mail it straight to the patient and you self-inject at home. That's much more convenient.
And there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing it.
Just have it mailed to your house. All over Texas. I have patients everywhere.
So when let's say I started doing testosterone about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. I got my blood work. Obviously, I need to do it again, I would assume.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to go off of current levels.
Okay.
That way we know how much to give you.
How to treat you,
Yeah. So how
and then
much?
just rerun you again and then see how you responded. And if we have to alter it, increase it, keep it the same.
How often does somebody on taking a testosterone regimen, do they need to test for their blood?
Every 6 months. That's what I do.
Yeah, every six months but as you start it, you're going to test first, then we're going to give you a dose and then retest you at like 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
See where you're at, and then that determines what your dose will be continuing.
Okay.
See, he needs that because he had a doctor before that he would just tell a doctor what he needed.
Oh, no.
And he overdid it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you should double it. I'm like,
Yeah, I did.
Well,
yeah.
you can get really bad side effects. You start breaking out. We don't want,
Dude, his back. That's what happened. His back
It
was.
ruined my back.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Is it better now? Like you took some stuff that helped.
Oh, no, yeah. So I had to take doxycycline for 90 days just to clear up my back, and still now there's scars.
Dude, his back was.
It was disgusting, and it was cystic.
Yep. Yeah. Nodular cystic acne is really hormonal. But eventually we're going to get this laser. You can come in and we can take all the scars off too.
Dude, let's go, baby.
I love that.
Yep. Give you a little back facial.
Can you do it while I'm sitting on the boom boom
Oh,
chair?
he loves
Of
facials.
course. Yep.
This is a family show.
Dude, I'm just talking. We're all about keeping our skin looking good. You like facials?
They do facials at Atlas Premier Healthcare, right?
We have more medical facials.
There you go.
Pills.
Skin pins, pills, lasers.
What is this?
Dude, that's weird to me.
Skin pins. So it's tiny little needles, but it's collagen induction therapy. You numb the entire face with a topical, and then we can put PRP or we can put exosomes. Exosomes are far superior. And
Adrenochrome?
It's exosomes.
No,
Oh,
he's talking about adrenochrome. He's part of the Illuminati.
No, we're not
He
doing
eats babies.
No, we don't have that. And then you're just gonna microneedle it. It almost feels like a small vibration, but it makes these little channels, and your body produces collagen and kind of closes them up from the inside out, so that your skin's tighter.
Magnus lost it.
He's crying.
He wants adrenochrome. He's been looking for it. So you inject stuff in your it's like almost like making new pores.
Yeah. So you make these tiny controlled injuries, and your body just reacts with more collagen and tighter skin. So that way you have a more youthful look. And those are fantastic. You can do like 3, 1 month apart. And then you're good. It's not where it's like, oh, it's going to last, a month or 2. It's just, it's bringing your body, it's more regenerative.
Yeah.
And then when you feel like you need it again, then you just.
Is there any side effects of that?
Any side effects?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Beauty.
You just
No, I'm just curious. I mean,
Glowing skin.
there's,
No, there is. Yeah, you want to avoid sunlight exposure before and
Okay.
after. So you want to do it kind of around this time when you're not in the sun, going on vacations.
Man, is that something new?
No.
No, it's been around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I think Vaughn should do it. We don't need to put the numbing cream on.
Oh yeah, you do.
Here's the thing. You're going to put numbing cream on my face. It's still going to hurt me.
You still feel it, but it's not as bad. And then we have other things like if you're highly anxious, we have Pronox, which is laughing gas.
Macaroni with the chicken strips.
Vaughn, guess what?
What?
New year, new meat.
New year, new meat?
New year, new meat, dude. Good Ranchers.
No.
It's like I say, new year, new me.
Yeah.
New year, new meat.
It's the same meat, though.
No, it's new meat.
It's new meat?
New meat.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Well, Good Ranchers, American Meat Delivered, our great sponsor of the Del Nutto podcast. They are taking the ick out of chicken.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. You know why? One, Ben, the owner,
Yeah.
he don't really touch chicken. So he has made it to where they are triple trim their chicken breasts.
Chef's trimmed
What?
chicken breast is what you're telling me?
Because it comes ready to go. You cut the package and you ain't got to trim it. You ain't got to cut any fat off, anything extra. You ain't got to touch the
you
slimy.
ain't got to touch it. I'm the same way.
That's taking the ick out of chicken.
I don't want salmonella on my fingers.
I don't either. I want it in my belly.
Yeah.
No, make sure you cook your Good Ranch chicken long enough you don't get salmonella. Yeah. So no, it's great. But hey, take the ick out of chicken. The cool thing is right now, use our code at goodranch.com, DNDpod. It gets you $20 off your box plus free chicken.
Free chicken. They're always giving free chicken away.
$189 value.
I don't know how they do it.
They
but
give so
do
much
it.
free stuff away. I don't know.
I don't. Did they even make money?
But hey, being that Ben is such a stickler for not touching chicken, he's passed that along to you guys to where it makes meal prep easy. Take the ick out of chicken. That's the big thing right now.
Yeah.
It's a big movement in 2024.
You got to put some prep in your step.
New year, new meat. Yeah, dude, I like that.
Put some prep in your step.
Dude.
For all those people that want to meal prep for the new year.
Dude, the best thing, I don't want to touch chicken.
No,
I don't mind it. Like, I've actually been using gloves when I touch meat, and now with Good Ranch meat, I can just clip the bag, slide it out.
Drop it in.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Put some prep in my step.
Put some prep in your step.
Yep. So go to goodranch.com, use our code DNDpod, take advantage of $20 off your first box, get the $189 value of free chicken for a year, And man, like if you want good meat, go to get American meat delivered to your house from goodranchers.com.
Yeah. And don't be chicken.
Don't be a chicken.
It's just chicken.
Don't be a chicken, dude.
Oh, dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
New year, new meat by Good Ranchers.
Macaroni with the chicken strips.
You can do during any of
I
our
wanna do-
procedures.
I'm just gonna come and take some of that.
I want to do
love
that
stuff.
just to take it.
just to giggle.
Yeah. So one of the things that you do that I find hilarious, and every time I get Botox, there's always the spots that hurt really badly. Okay, they don't hurt really badly. They sting a bit. And you go, yeah, those spots are spicy. Like, you church it up. That it is, like, damn
She's a
good
good
well,
salesman.
spicy is the worst.
Like, it comes a little spicy.
Yeah, that's not a good. Spicy's not the word. More like that stings like shit.
The crow's feet. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, it
extra
hurts.
spicy.
So bad.
Those are very spicy. Yeah.
But it doesn't last very long. It's just like,
No.
ooh.
You can feel it, the prick in the skin too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like
But-
you feel the breaking of the skin.
But you know what? Every time I leave,
Just real quick.
it feels good, and I love whenever my forehead is numb, or not numb, but
Doesn't
When
move?
it kicks in.
doesn't
yeah.
move.
It's awesome.
I like the feeling of it.
Yeah.
And no wrinkles is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's great. Well, and that's what it's like. My husband's like, "What is this? Why am I moving? I need more." It's
Yeah.
like, that's just expression. You're not due yet.
Right.
But see, just
But he's excited. He's like, "Oh, it's time." Yes.
Yes.
he's a good guinea pig. He just does
Oh,
everything.
he
huh?
loves it.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, it took me a while to convince him to do it, but then all his buddies do it, and they're like, "Why wouldn't you do it? Your wife does it." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna do it."
Yeah, really.
Now he's like, "Why did I wait?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old's your husband?
We're 39.
39. Okay.
Tall, dark, and handsome. I just ran into him the other day.
Oh yeah.
He's a very
Right.
large. He's a very large man.
He is.
Yeah, he's obsessed with working out. He works out. He pretty much every day.
Last time I saw him, we saw him at.
Oh, he's at Denim and Diamond
Yeah.
at Danielle's party.
I just wanted him to hold me.
You should have jumped in his arms.
I should have.
He could easily hold you.
Like, what's up, bro?
One hand.
Yeah. Let me grab this drink.
Yeah, that's funny. Yes. Okay. So you're at a new spot. Last time you were here, you were with another
Yeah.
place. Now
Yeah,
you're with
yeah.
your new place, Atlas.
Atlas Premier Health.
Atlas Pro
Yeah.
Health. Okay.
Amazing. I have complete freedom. I can do more for my patients, instead of, like you mentioned, semaglutide doing the weight loss. I'm able to get blood work on the patient, look deeper, find, what's the cause of this? Is it hormonal? Is it vitamin deficiency? We look at B12, vitamin D, testosterone, thyroid. And because I don't want to just, put a Band-Aid on it and say, here's this medication for you to lose weight. It's a lot of patient education and support as well. It's like, okay, look, your thyroid's off. Let's get you on something natural to bring that down. Or, you have a vitamin deficiency. Let's get you on some, methyl B12, something like that. Or we even, I can send B12 to their house. You can self-inject too, because that saves you a lot of money. It comes
Yeah.
out to like $10 an injection if you do it on your own. And then also, just making sure you're treating the underlying symptom and issues that are happening and causing the actual symptoms of weight gain. And it's more hormonal, then we'll do some testosterone or pellets, injections, and then getting you to your goal, but maintaining it. Because if not, you're going to be one of those patients where they're like, oh, I was on it, I gained all the weight back. Well, did you have anything underlying happening? Are you working out? Are you building muscle? So I send them a whole email with everything to do. Like, you want to increase your protein, minimum 100 grams of protein, but you really should be doing like a gram of protein for
Per
every
body weight.
pound. Correct. But it's hard to get people there. So I'm like, okay, if you can at least do
a tough.
100,
Yeah,
then
it's
go from there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But people need to also know like getting that from actual food is better than drinking a bunch of shakes. Too.
Oh,
It's good to
course.
supplement with
Yeah.
shakes, but you need to like get that from meats and
Yes.
different things. But I've been on testosterone for probably 4 years now. I tell people, it's like, man, it's not a miracle drug. But the best thing I could say for it is it's helped me maintain muscle mass, which that's the key to longevity too. Muscle mass
yeah.
really helps burning fat. There's a lot of things that makes a difference with muscle mass.
Oh, yeah.
But I've kept the same. I mean, I work out still, but I've kept the same size and structure mass that you want. I mean, that's the biggest thing I think that's testosterone done for me.
Yeah.
Because it's
absolutely.
helped keep that, because I'm sure as you're getting older, your testosterone goes down. Your body, that's probably the quickest thing. Your muscle mass
Yeah.
you lose first.
And with these medications too, I always talk about muscle wasting. You have to build muscle. So I'll send them a workout app that me and my husband use, but it's just great because it gives you a free week. They can try it out. If it works for them, it's like $100 for a lifetime. But it's like having a trainer. It sets up your workout.
Pretty boy.
This episode is brought to you by Pretty Boy. Dude, what is your plans for New Year's resolution?
Dude, I'm not one for New Year's resolutions, and the reason why is because most of the time people make a New Year's resolution to like get all fit and start eating healthy, and not a single person cares about their face.
I do. So now, if you use Pretty Boy Revival, you'll be working on your face for your New Year resolution. Why not?
I don't know. Why not?
Like, dude, you can't go, like, unless you're, I don't know what kind of profession you'll be in.
Like a lifeguard?
Lifeguard?
Yeah.
Somebody wearing a mask all day. Unless you're wearing a mask all day, everybody's going to see your ugly face.
Yeah.
So you might as well make it look good with Revival from Pretty Boy.
Exactly. And 9 times out of 10, people that get their bodies in shape, they just walk into the office and it's covered up by a shirt, but everybody's got to see your ugly ass face.
Dude, you ain't lying.
So you need to take care of your face because that's what I got to look at. I don't care about your pecs. I don't care about your lats.
Dude, I care about people's...
But an ugly face will really ruin my day.
Yeah, I want to look at people's faces because, hey, when somebody's got nice skin, you notice.
Oh, yeah. It's like when women have the pregnant glow, now men can have the pregnant glow.
Oh, dude. Hey, so get yourself Revival from Yo Pretty Boy and get yourself a pregnant glow on your face. Is that what it is?
Yeah. These comments were not FDA approved.
They were not. So go to yoprettyboy.com and use our code DNDPod15 at checkout.
Pretty boy.
A lot of the free weights I didn't know how to do, and my husband has it all set up in our garage. So it's like I could click the video and it shows you a full video how to properly do it. Your form breaks down like what muscle groups you're working. It just makes it easy.
Yeah.
Because I need to be told what to do.
So you're like a full wellness spot now. That's what's your new deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's like overall anti-aging for everything.
Yeah.
It's like you come in, because they'll come in, for their toxin, their fillers, the weight loss. Then we start looking deeper, and we have supplements that are professional grade. And it's orthomolecular, and so they can pick it up there, or we can ship it to their house, whatever works best for them. But it has a lot of especially with the weight loss, you have to make sure that you're getting your proper nutrients, because a lot of the times it cuts your appetite down. But people are like, "Oh, I don't eat much. I just don't eat breakfast. I just don't eat all day." And it's like, well, you're going to be starving yourself.
You gotta eat.
And then they're complaining their hair's falling out. Well, because you're malnutritioned. So we have all the vitamins with the micronutrients that you take.
Pets' heads are falling off.
Their hair is falling out.
That's their pets' heads are falling off.
Dumb and Dumber reference.
Didn't get that.
Oh, wow. Dude, it'd be terrible.
So there's a lot. So I go into a lot of education because we've seen, we get feedback from patients. Like, I went to another place. He just gave it to me. Didn't explain. And I'm like, even to the injection site, like you want to inject it into your arm fat. That's the best because we don't know why, but the receptors pick it up so well and it's more effective. But then it also decreases your side effects. So
why is that?
We don't know.
So inject everything in your arm?
Yeah,
okay.
semaglutide, tirzepatide, doesn't matter. Always do your
What about
arm
testosterone?
fat. No, not that.
I was
That's an
fixing to
IM.
say.
No, that's an IM. So that goes into the muscle. You have
Okay.
to go
That's the
into the muscle.
yeah.
Yeah. So just for the weight loss, those are all subcutaneous injections. So that just means subcutaneous fat. So you want to inject it into the arm first if you can. If that doesn't work, then do your thigh. But never do your abdomen, especially with semaglutide. It has such a high side effect profile. You inject it into your stomach. That's where I have patients who are ER docs, and they're the ones getting them on the other side. And I'm like, tell them to do their arms. They need to, you have to have nutrition. You have to have protein. And they're not doing any of this.
Well, that's the same thing. It's the same stigma around steroids. People think that it's just a miracle. Like, you got to do the work. You got to eat right. It doesn't just make you have muscle.
Yeah.
So, these guys that professionally do it, or athletes, they're doing it to gain, to enhance.
Yeah.
It doesn't just automatically make you do whatever you want to do. You got to put the work in. Just the same way with the weight loss stuff. You can't just take it and eat your same, drink alcohol and all this stuff and expect it to work for you, right?
Yeah, correct. It's not going to work. It's not like putting on the Infinity Stones and just bulking up. You got to put in the work, the time. You have to change your lifestyle too, especially with the weight loss. You can't continue going back to the way that you were eating. And luckily, it kind of curbs that like kind of food chatter. Like if you're always thinking of food or snacking, it cuts it off.
Really?
It makes you think of food as fuel, because that's how it should be. But we have all these emotional attachments. You know, our stomach is about this large. However, American plates, you go to the restaurants, they're this big. You get an appetizer plus your meal. And then whatever beverage, you only have so much room, you know? So it's kind of turning that off and reprogramming your brain to think about that.
We're the fattest country in the world for a reason.
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cheaper to eat unhealthy.
Bad.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
That's
like-
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go over to the European countries, it's like I just went for my first time, and you're walking and they have fresh food for you to just pick up every day.
You know, and
it's
a lot
all
of
made if you don't want to cook it yourself, but everyone goes and gets what they need daily.
a lot of people, like you just said, a lot of people, they say, you know, it's more expensive to eat healthy. Well, at the same time, if you're going from these huge portion meals and then you change those huge portion meals to huge portion healthy meals, it is going to be more expensive.
True.
But if you take the size down to what you actually need and then eat healthy food there, I think the cost is probably going to offset itself. I mean, if you're eating a pound of whatever this unhealthy food is, and then you do a half pound of something healthy, I mean, I think the cost is probably going to be the same in the end.
Well, it depends if you're looking at fast food, because then they have like the $1 menu with like a Big Mac.
Yeah.
And it's easy and it's convenient. We're all about convenience now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but it's just
instant gratification.
a lot of people do not want to spend. They don't think about the money they spend to make themselves better either. You know, they think like, oh, it's so expensive. Like, man,
It doesn't matter.
but your body is like, it's important to keep it healthy, and like if you got kids and like being around, and like I said, longevity is a big deal. Like, spend a little money or spend a little time on yourself makes a difference.
Yeah, invest in yourself, because without your health, it's like that's what we saw so much in COVID. It's like without your health, you're nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is terrifying.
Yeah, that's it's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to kind of go back on the origins of Ozempic and semaglutide and all the name
It
brands.
gets very confusing.
Why did that blow up like it did?
Probably because, I mean, Mounjaro put out a big coupon and anyone could get it. So then Mounjaro is actually FDA approved for diabetes. So then all these patients who were diabetic couldn't get it. So that's where a lot of people got on it. Everyone talked about the Ozempic. A lot of Ozempic was kind of approved not for diabetes as well. So it just blew up because a lot of celebrities were on it.
Yeah.
And then you see them shrinking and everyone's like, well, what is that? And this is convenient. You don't have to go under the knife. So it's equivalent as a lap band or a gastric bypass or sling, but without all the risks. Because we have
And a lot
we have
cheaper.
a lot of patients, a lot cheaper. But we have a lot of patients who have lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
One of them is our coworker. Her and her husband have lost over 100 pounds. It's impressive.
So-
and we have a lot of patients.
So these
I posted one on my Instagram.
Really?
She was great. She let us show the picture, and everything is so much better. I mean,
yeah.
Well, you got to think, dude, how much happier, like,
yeah,
I know.
joint pain.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Inflammation.
fatigue, the inflammation. So these medications actually reduce internal inflammation. They're cardioprotective too, so they reduce your risk of heart attack, stroke, even dementia, smoking cessation, alcoholism, OCD, and then
Does it help you stop vaping?
help you stop vaping. It can, yeah,
Okay,
it
I
definitely can.
have a friend who was asking.
It kind of cuts that nicotine out. And bring a sample for him to try. But it is safe, which is most important, because there's other drugs out there that you take it, it's like basically speed. You lose the
love
weight, you
speed.
get off of it, and then you gain it all back. And then if you have any issues with your heart, I mean, it can.
Yeah.
It can.
So
do some
these
damage.
drugs are these medicines. So do we call them drugs or do we call them medicines?
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
First thing.
These drugs, they've been around for a long time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and that's what I think people are starting. They don't understand it. So they've been around for a long time for people that have diabetes for the most part, and it regulates blood sugar. I'm assuming. So, is there a point at which doctors or healthcare providers said, you know what, if we do this in larger doses, because my assumption is that a diabetic person will take a smaller dose than somebody who's trying to do it for weight loss. Is that not correct?
No, not necessarily, because if they have weight loss as well. It just depends on what their dose is and how they're responding, how their blood sugar is responding.
Okay.
So how come diabetics they
Everyone's
didn't do
different.
this for them? Because they needed it for a certain way.
Well, they did, I think. Diabetics were losing weight.
Yeah,
they were?
they're losing
Oh,
weight.
okay,
And
okay, I
that's
understand.
where,
But
yeah.
Their target,
naive to that.
I believe what it is their target demographic was if you have diabetes, we have this.
Yes.
Now the target demographic is everybody's open and that you can take this. And it's
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's opened up to where compounding is a thing, because if you weren't diabetic and you can't. So let me break down the medication so it makes more sense. So it's like, Tylenol is a brand name. However, the active ingredient is acetaminophen, right? Doesn't matter what you call it. Look at the active ingredient. So the best one is called tirzepatide. That one's a double receptor. It's a GLP-1 agonist and a GIP. It's very effective because of that double receptor, and it has a lower side effect profile. So that one goes, if you're diabetic, then it's Mounjaro. And then if you are just obese, you want to lose weight, now it just came out, it's approved, it's called Zepbound. Terrible name.
I can't wait
It does
to hear
not
the
roll
song
out.
about that one.
Yeah, Zepbound. So
Zepbound.
so then you have those two indications now, so that
Zepbound.
you can't whip back into shape, whip it good. So then you have those two, so that now diabetic patients, because that wasn't right, people who actually have diabetes need their
They could-
Mounjaro,
yeah.
and they couldn't get it
That's
or
crazy.
access it. So and
Or-
then you
and the
have
price is so high
providers
too, right?
who are still prescribing that, and it's like, well, you really want to save that for people who need it.
Yeah.
So those are the medications. However, if you back in the day, if you weren't diabetic, you could get the compound, which we have that, and we can ship it to your house, which is super convenient. We even have a pharmacy. It's like 2 days at your doorstep, sometimes overnight. Well, it is shipped overnight, but once everything's processed.
Damn.
So you can start that right away. If you have insurance coverage for weight loss, then we can get you Zepbound. I have a coupon that'll bring it down to as low as like $25 a month. So it's worth, calling your insurance and saying, hey, do you
Zepbound.
cover Zepbound? And get you on that. And then the next medication is semaglutide. That one came out earlier, so that's what everyone was on. So semaglutide is the active ingredient in Ozempic for diabetes, Wegovy for obesity. So those are them.
okay.
So if your insurance doesn't cover Wegovy, then we would just do the compound. If you're diabetic, you can go on Ozempic. However, now it's like, well, I'd rather have you on
Ozempic's not the
Mounjaro.
It's not the
because
king
it's
anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's a single receptor, and it has a very high side effect profile. And not for everyone. It's just very unpredictable.
Yeah.
So I could put someone on it, and they do great, no symptoms, and they lose a lot of weight. I put another patient on it. They're dying sick. They nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. They can't handle
Ugh.
it. And some people are on it, and they'll lose maybe a pound a month, and they're frustrated, and they want to get off of it. So it's just,
how do you?
It varies.
Okay, you don't know until
We
they.
won't know until they try.
Until they
Yeah.
try.
So I always tell patients very honestly, look, this is the best one. You want to do this. I screen them for diabetes. I'm looking at their labs, because that's another thing. We're very unique. A lot of places are just doing the compounds, but we do insurance. It's like, no, you have insurance coverage. Let's do the cheapest route, you
Yeah.
know? But then let's see if you have diabetes, because there's been plenty of patients where we're running lab slips and it's like, oh, I haven't had labs in a year. Okay, well, come in, we'll draw your blood, or we'll send you out if you live far away. Go to any lab, and then we get it back, and it's like, you are full-blown diabetic. And they had no idea.
Holy shit!
So that's terrifying.
Well, that's good on y'all, because you're trying to treat instead of just band-aid
Yeah.
somebody's
Yeah.
problem.
So they do really well. And then, we talk about nutrition. I go over a lot of patient education and give them all the resources that they need to continue. I'll even tell them about, going for DEXA scans. That's huge.
Yeah.
Those are great. And then see what your baseline is. And then when you feel, you're midway there, do it again. And then, my husband's really good at getting those done.
Yeah.
And checking his progress and knowing what it is. And then they can even do your resting metabolic rate.
So which one is he taking? The
tirzepatide.
okay.
Yeah, the better one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that done for him?
Oh, he's lost about 41 pounds.
Because he's in good shape.
Yeah,
he's a big guy.
Yeah, big dude.
So it's just helping him
he
lose
looked
body
great
fat?
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just leaning out. It's just he's a Marine. He was always in shape, and as you get
Yeah.
older, things
Yeah, I
change,
know.
and it's just harder.
Yeah.
So it's just he's gotten to his goal. He's been able to maintain it. Now, he feels the best he's ever felt.
How do you dose that?
So that one, and that's another thing. Like, people will fail on it because the provider doesn't understand the medication. So it's actually titrated. You start on a low dose that's kind of like non-therapeutic. You just want to get on a low dose, see how you do, let your body acclimate to it, and then the next month you increase. So every month you can increase depending on how the patient's doing.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have
but you got to be watching. You got to monitor it though.
Correct. You have to have an appointment either in person. I do telehealth too, which is super easy. People will just come on the break on their phone. We go over everything, get a current weight, go over all the symptoms. So like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. It mostly, you get slight nausea like day 1, day 2. It's when you feel a little weird, but the answer is eat. Stay hydrated, electrolytes.
Yeah.
Make sure you're getting enough protein. If you're just starving yourself, you're going to feel worse. You know?
I mean, regardless of what you're taking, if you're not eating, you're going to feel bad.
You're going to be weak. And then you titrate up just slowly. And then obviously, like if they need help, I'll send in a prescription of Zofran to help them. Just with that slight.
So you cover everybody in Texas or any?
Yeah, and then we have providers who are licensed in other states.
Okay. Well, I got a lot of friends in Louisiana, so I'm just trying to think of people to send to you that would benefit from somebody that's more versed at it than just going to some clinic and they're just
And we get
tell them what you want, you get it, and you're like, it doesn't work, or it doesn't, or it's not the healthiest way for you.
Correct. And then I'll get people that come in and they're coming in for Botox, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was on," because even with Botox, it's a medical procedure, and now we're finally seeing that all over the news. These are medical procedures; they're prescription drugs. Botox fillers are too. And so you have to see a medical provider, right? Or else that's not legal. You need to see someone to clear you. And so with these medications, even with Botox, I'm going over their history. Are you allergic to any medications? What are your current medications? And then they'll say, "Oh, I was on semaglutide, but it made me sick. I couldn't handle it." Were you injecting into your stomach? Yes. How much protein did you take? I don't know. No one told me that. And it's like, "Oh, no. You need to do A, B, and C."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Okay, let me try it again." And they'll get on it, and they do great.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people go in for a quick fix without the knowledge.
Correct.
And I think there's probably a lot of healthcare providers that give them that quick fix and give them no backstory. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people fail that way. I mean, same thing happened to me. I went in. I know what steroids are. I know exactly how much I'm supposed to have, and I know exactly how much I want and where I need to get. And I got it, and it was not what I thought it was going to be, and it failed, and it screwed me up in the same sense too.
Yeah.
God
in
bless.
The long run.
R.I.P. to my back.
So, break down what the drug does for me. Like, so how does this make somebody lose weight?
So we naturally secrete GLP like through our gastric juices. We're just giving ourselves more. And what that does
I love gastric juices.
It just shuts off that craving. It's what tells your body, once you've eaten that you're full and you don't need any more. But it also slows down your gastric emptying rate. So the food's going to sit in your stomach a lot longer, so you feel fuller longer.
Okay.
So that's why I'll screen for acid reflux, It's because it's sitting there, it may flare it up again. So it's like, just do omeprazole over the counter. That'll help in the interim as you get used to it. But then also don't overeat. You physically overeat, you will vomit it up. There's nowhere for it to go. So learning how to portion control, right? And then by slowing everything down, it's going to slow, your lower GI too. So you have to increase your water intake. So I always recommend like 80 to 100 ounces of water daily, because you don't want to get constipation because it can slow everything.
That's the worst.
Yeah. You don't want that. So, or doing, magnesium at night. That's great. I like a lot of natural ways of doing things.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have more synthetic things.
No.
Just, and so that's one of the things you want to do. I also tell them to inject on a full stomach after dinner. With these medications, you always want to eat. And, no intermittent fasting. If, our fasting is going to be, in the evenings and when we sleep.
Yeah.
But if you do, you're just basically starving yourself. And with these medications, you start to get that nausea.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You just feel terrible.
Nausea.
So you have to keep your metabolism going. So that's huge. You need the micronutrients. So we have the orthomolecular. It's called high phenolic and mitochondria. And like within, my patient education, I go over it with them on the visit, but then I send them an email with everything in writing so they can refer, because it's a lot of information.
Yeah, I bet.
But then I have, weight loss bundles. What I recommend, the high phenolic, the mitochondria, that helps you naturally increase your own GLP-1 activation. So then while you're on it, it's more effective. But then even once you're able to get off and wean off, you stay on it, and it's just going to be your multivitamin.
And that's
daily.
a supplement? Okay.
Yeah. And then just really injecting it kind of on a full stomach after dinner. That way you're kind of sleeping through anything that you're feeling, and then staying hydrated, increase your electrolytes. People don't give themselves electrolytes as they need,
Yeah.
So just doing something that they enjoy, then they can do that.
Even drink water with salt in it. It's a big thing for health.
Yeah,
We're trying to get a sponsorship with Gatorade.
Oh, yeah.
Gatorade's bad for you, dude.
I know.
Gatorade Zero.
Full of sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gatorade Zero is fine.
I used to drink it and I realized how much carbs are in it. I'm like, oh, God, I can't drink that.
It is sugar.
It's not good for you.
Yeah. Not a.
There's so many good supplements out there to mix into your water.
There are.
That's you can't beat
read
it.
the label. Look at the sugar.
Yep.
Look at everything.
That was the biggest thing for me. Whenever I worked with a friend of ours, a nutritionist, in 2021. I've always been the guy that was work out all the time. I was like, yeah, you're just trying to outwork a bad diet. And then in 2021, when I did that, I realized, I seen much results. I'm like, dude, you can't outwork a bad diet. And then when I started doing that, eating right, and really count my macros and like watching what I was doing, made me real conscious of looking at the labels. And I'd be like, oh man, I can't eat this because it's going to screw up my dinner for carbs I need for dinner, so it's really, it was a big eye opener.
Yeah.
It really helped me out. But that's the same way. If you educate the people the right way to do their stuff, that'll just help them pass the medicine.
Correct. Because especially they're paying out of pocket. It's like, protect your investment. This is
Yeah.
it's not cheap, but, make sure that you're taking care of it. And you should be picky on what you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
Do you start seeing more so that insurance companies are starting to pick up costs on these weight loss drugs? They
are opening up now more, and even more now that we got the new Zepbound.
Yeah.
There's going to be changes. I've had patients too where their insurance doesn't cover it, and I had multiple employees from that same company, and so I asked one of the reps, what do we do? How do they get coverage? And he said, go to HR. Have everyone email HR, have them sign a petition and request it. And so next time when enrollment comes up, and so all those employees actually were talking to him, and then the boss came to me and he's like, oh, I'm in charge of that, I'll just add it. So he wound up adding it for all his employees.
Yeah. I mean,
So talk to HR.
You would think that health insurance would want to pay for things for people to be healthier so that they're not paying for heart attacks and heart failure and things like that. So.
Yeah. Because, the medication's amazing. Like I was telling you, it's cardioprotective. It reduces your risk of heart attack, stroke, dementia, like all, smoking cessation, all that. But then also for females, like I have patients who are just on it for PCOS and endometriosis. Their internal inflammation is gone. They have normal periods. They're not getting that pain.
I
love normal periods.
So
it'll
more. Regulate.
He's got a bunch of heavy chunky days.
Chunky?
No, I remember I said that. I just watched. We just watched that movie that night with Adam Sandler.
Which one?
It's called "You're So Not Invited." It's my bat mitzvah. It's about his daughter.
I haven't
Bat
seen
mitzvah.
that one.
It's funny on Netflix, but he calls his daughter. He FaceTimes his daughter. She's in 7th grade, and she's with her friend and her mom. She's like, "Hey, he's got tampons." Like, "Hey, I'm here. Mom says you need some tampons." He goes, "I don't know what you need. Is it like it's heavy or is it chunky?" And he just he says that. She's like, "Dad," it's just he's trying to embarrass from his friends.
Yeah.
That's why I said that. But it was super funny. You can imagine a daughter hearing that from their dad.
Taste it.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Now that you sidetracked me.
I'm sorry.
It's like the same symptom from, semaglutide.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to eat.
Oof, gosh.
Yeah.
So Vaughn had a beef with this, but actually, because people that go ahead, you can talk about it.
I'm a firm believer in just being open and honest with people, like about things, and there's some things that, you can't help. And, there's surgeries that have to be done. If somebody has a hysterectomy, I don't feel like they need to be open and honest and say, hey, I got a hysterectomy. But one of the things I'm starting to see amongst a lot of people that drives me insane is, they're on semaglutide or whatever weight loss drug it is. And, you see them and you're like, oh, so what have you been doing? Oh, well, I've been, just working out and eating healthy. And I know them enough to know that they have not been working out, and I know that they have not been eating healthy. It bothers me to death that people can't just say, so here's what I started doing, and just tell them, like, hey, I'm on semaglutide, you're like, educate them on how it's worked, how you feel and stuff like that. It drives me insane that people are so insecure to the fact that you're taking an easy route, which is fine. It's a good jump start. It's a good kickstart to a healthy lifestyle, but don't play it off as you've been. Well,
it's not helping anybody by doing that, but I know.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's different. So some people are just very.
Yeah. Some people don't want to share that.
It drives me nuts. I mean, it's like back in the day when boob jobs became a big thing. It's you wake up on a Tuesday, you see them again next Tuesday. They got huge boobs. Did you get a boob job? No.
Drink more pickle juice.
It's like, come on. We know you've lost 30 pounds in a month. Like, we know you're on it.
Awesome.
It just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Did you hear the story about that guy that got a boob job for $100,000?
What? No.
Did
he lose a bet?
No, the guy paid him $100,000 to do it. And then he makes like $10,000 a year. Yeah. So Magnus is going to do it. We're going to pay him.
I'm going to have to Google that.
No, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because I know my husband's, they do the fantasy football league. Yeah. And he said that on one of them, whoever lost had to pierce their belly button. Oh. Or like someone had to get a tattoo. It was just like, oh, that's hilarious.
Next year, belly button piercing in the fantasy football league.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'd rock that.
I mean, you can let it heal.
I'd rock a belly button.
I'll pierce it for you. 18 gauge. When I used to work in plastics, we would, fix earlobes and then you have to re-pierce them.
Dude, those things are gross.
So let me know. Do that bed and I'll come pierce you.
Oh, jeez.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Lou just got to get a Prince Albert.
No.
Well, I mean, I do those penis injections too.
Yeah, we
like
get
the exosomes into the Magnum.
We're gonna talk about those too.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about that.
So the crazy thing, I guess, kind of go back to his beef with the semaglutide and the I hate to say that word, but I guess that's just a buzzword for it right now. It's like you see people and you're always like, I bet they're on the shot. I bet it's funny. Well, like you see people, they transform so quick.
Yeah.
And I know. When I did the nutrition and stuff, like I was eating more because I needed to fuel my body the right way for the way I worked out. And I was losing like a pound and a half a week at some points. And that's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. The eating is just as much work. Trying to get in that amount of protein and carbs every day whenever you're busy. Mm-hmm. The right way, not drinking. I'm short 50 carbs, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. Like that don't work. You know what I'm saying? But that's the kind of stuff you really gotta do it the right way, and so that's tough. And then you see somebody lose a ton of weight, you're like, "Fuck, man!" But
yeah, I mean, use it. It's easier.
I personally wish I have no problem with somebody doing it
for my first kid because me and my husband were talking about this morning. I'm like, man, I was 160, and I struggled. It took me so long to get back.
Really?
And now it's like, and
you could have had a cheat code.
I was like, I would have taken it. I wouldn't care, but like, sign me up.
Yeah.
I don't care. And I share everything. I personally do about anything with my patients because I feel like it's better. Like, even to the point where like patients are like, well, I've got a CPAP and I'm not using it. I was like, well, use it. Literally you're choking every night and you're dying. And I was like, I have a CPAP.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm not the basic person that has like the bull neck or anything, but don't be embarrassed to use your CPAP. It's thank God I'm married. I wouldn't want to date someone and be like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
But it's like, I've got one. And they're like, oh, really? And they feel better.
I think that's more people.
About it. Open it up.
People need to be more open and vulnerable talking because it's only going to help out the next person.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, that's why we talk about doing Botox. I've had other friends want to do it since then. I'm like, dude, it don't bother me.
No.
I do testosterone. Like, if you want to educate but people do more. They're more inclined to do something if they know somebody they know or trust is doing it.
Yeah.
And then if you share your experiences, like I tell people all the time about my low T and what I did with it and what it's done for me. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like it's.
Yeah,
I think it needs to be shared.
People to help. I want to help other people.
Yeah.
If that benefits them, then fantastic.
Yeah, I think the elective stuff is just like, you're doing it electively. And people that do elective things, somebody's coming up to you to say, hey, you look really good because they're interested in how you got there.
Yeah.
when you say, oh, it's, working out and diet, and we know damn good and well it's not. It's like, why don't you take that moment to say, actually, so here's what I've been doing. I've been taking this, and this is kind of how it looked. And you give them
go to Atlas Premier Health.
You give them education on your experience, which then they can make a a knowledgeable choice if that's something they want to do, or if they want to recommend it to their friends or whatever it is. I just, the trying to hide it stuff, it just drives me nuts. And it all goes back to insecurity, which is the worst thing we have in the entire world. But we'll talk about that another day. I firmly believe that if you're doing something elective and it's bettering your life, why not share that with somebody else?
Yeah. But then again, they don't, there's patients that don't want their spouse to know,
Oh, really?
Then they don't need to be married.
So it's like,
dude, that's crazy.
Between you guys, and I obviously can't say anything anyway because of HIPAA. It's like, that is completely your choice. And because it's medical, it's like, that really is their choice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if you got to hide that from your spouse, you shouldn't be married. I mean, it's a fact. Tell them next time they come in, say Bond said.
Bond said.
And then have them call me and I'll talk to them. Why would you hide that?
I don't know.
What else are they hiding?
Oh, jeez.
They're probably sleeping with Joey. I guarantee it. All because of semaglutide. See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, you
be
never
open.
know what goes on.
Semaglutide's a gateway drug.
Yeah.
Sleeping with other dudes.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You take
it's not? No. I thought that was part of
Take it and go to
the
the
side
club.
effect.
You take semaglutide and you take semaglutide
No.
take semaglutide and infidelity is the side effect.
Oh, shit.
I've seen testosterone, like BHRT, help marriages. I had one patient, she was like, man, I used to snap at my husband, kids, just irritated all the time. She's like, as soon as I got my testosterone up again, she's like, I'm indifferent. She's like, my coworkers didn't irritate me today. She's like, I feel so good.
Yeah.
Really?
And it was just a hormonal imbalance. So,
Yeah, hormones a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am starting to get, I've always had it. I mean, you don't just wake up with it, but I have extreme adult ADD. It's gotten worse over the years.
He blames it on me.
It's your fault.
I mean,
have you gone in and gotten tested?
I mean, I've been tested. I had ADD as a child. And yes, I did have ADD. I have not gotten tested again. And I think the reason why I haven't is because nowadays it's such, the drugs they use are so freaking regulated. This drives me nuts. That I have to go see like the therapist and they have to sign off and say that he's got ADD. The process of doing that I don't feel is necessary. It probably is, but I don't want to put my time into having to go find out something that I already know because I've been diagnosed with it before. Mm-hmm. And I just haven't treated it.
Yeah.
I need to.
They're controlled substances too, so they have to have
you can get that on the street for cheap.
I mean, if you go to a doctor though, and this doctor's,
you have to go to a psych doc because it's a prescription.
Yeah, but I mean, even a regular doctor can prescribe it to you, right?
Yeah.
But this regular doctor that I go to says you need to go to a therapist.
But you need to,
No, there's certain
parameters.
She knows you, so you should just go to one. She's saying.
Yeah.
The therapist break that down. No, never mind. I don't need to go.
Because also you want someone who's familiar with these medications. Just like where like the PCP, they're like, oh, could you give me Wegovy? Yeah, sure. And then, well, no, it was Mounjaro. One of my friends, they got it from their PCP and they gave him like a 10 milligram off the back. Not okay. He was extremely sick, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, just ill. And it's like you have to start at a 2.5. So sometimes you ask someone who's not familiar with the medication, and a lot of bad things that happen, that's a controlled substance. They probably would like you to see a specialist that, truly knows and understands that medication.
But a therapist can't even prescribe you medicine.
No, but they're going to have to document. And I don't work in psych, so I don't know. I did a rotation in it, but I just, you still have to, I don't know what their parameters are. Like maybe you have to see a therapist and then you see, the doc, and then they give you the prescription.
I need to get that fixed.
But yeah, go
Because
so you can, clear your mind and
it's crazy what ADD does to people.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I've got it for sure.
It is, yes.
Yes.
You've been diagnosed.
Doctor.
Like I've always been a professional procrastinator, but I work well doing that way. And then now I cannot keep on task on anything. And it drives me insane. and it overwhelms me, and it's depressing, actually.
Yeah. Well, why don't you go? Get tested,
I
go
need
through
to.
the correct steps.
You
And
need to go to a therapist.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
need to. I'm going to go to a psychiatrist so I can skip the therapist and
Yeah, we'll
skip
go
the
to a
doctor.
psych. Because they're the ones that are going to.
You know, you get psychs around here.
I need to find one.
I don't.
Can I go with you when you go?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can ask at work. Get you text.
I can.
Did Magnus come?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A group outing.
Yeah, I need to.
Dude, he already said he's at 57 problem with me. I might as well be there.
I used to go to a psychiatrist, and he retired. He was 84 whenever I was seeing him.
Oh.
He's old.
That's old.
He was born before ADD.
Yeah, he developed it.
He did. Yeah. He, in a lab in China.
Yeah. They started putting in chicken, and then everybody's got it.
Just spread it.
That's how it started.
So yeah. So
What do you take for ADD anyway?
Adderall, Vyvanse, Ritalin. There's a lot of drugs.
I heard that stuff makes you lose weight too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like
You're not hungry.
that's okay. That's what it is.
Adderall makes me pee a lot.
Ugh. I've never taken Adderall.
Phenomenal.
I haven't. But then I heard a lot of, getting a medical degree in PA school and stuff. Then I heard later that some of my my cohorts were
Take it
on it.
the
I'm
whole
like,
time.
so I'm studying and actually
Yeah.
doing all the hard work, and y'all were taking that.
They-
And I'm
My-
like,
They're on the limitless pill.
Put it this way.
I was-
My
yes,
Like mind
exactly.
steroids.
my
I was like,
first semester of college, I got a 0.6 GPA. Obviously, it was because of acclimation and immaturity, right? I took Adderall. I left college, and to this day, I bet I studied in college a total of 10 hours in my 4 years of college and graduated with a 3.5 or 3.6. It was the limitless pill. I could go into a lecture, take Adderall, write no notes, and then somehow access that information on a test. It's amazing, but it made me feel dirty. That was the only side effect I
dirty
had.
Vaughn.
Like I was always taking showers. Like I just felt ugh.
Why?
would make your skin kind of
Like,
itch.
It's so I've never done
Amphetamines.
meth
Yeah.
before,
Well, it's amphetamine.
and I feel like when you look at somebody who's addicted to methamphetamines, I kind of felt like I was that way on the inside, and it just made me feel ugh. So I don't know.
I could
Do
see
you
that.
do you prescribe meth?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think
She
you can get
cook-
that over the counter.
She
Oh,
she
okay.
cooks it.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
would not recommend that.
okay. I didn't know. I've heard it's good.
Meth?
Yeah.
What?
I was joking.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Meth's illegal.
I know that.
Sometimes I'm very literal.
You're like, huh? What?
But
I'm never serious,
I'm
so
like,
we're
Crystal.
perfect for each other.
I need to talk to you about something.
so next moving on, I got an email deal sent from Atlas Premier Health that was talking to. It was around. I think it was around. No, it was around Halloween.
You gonna get your lips injected?
No, it
Dude, he
wasn't that.
should.
Oh, we should so do that.
Vaughn would look so
hot.
hot with lip injections.
We're not going to do that.
We get guys who come in and they just
Really?
yeah.
They want some.
Sometimes
They want
just
some.
have small lips and they're just
they
like,
want some
I
DSLs?
just want a little bit more, just so when I smile, they don't disappear.
My lips
And you cannot tell.
are not small, so I'm good on that.
I think we should do a little
But-
bit of filler.
But I'm trying to get into what I'm interested in.
Okay.
A pea shot.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
So we're going to talk about it.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, and it's regenerative medicine. So it's just exosomes. So you could do PRP.
Okay.
PRP is where I draw your blood, spin it down, get that platelet-rich plasma. However, by the time we need it, we don't really have that much that's actually beneficial, right? You're not going to heal yourself at our age as well as you would from exosomes. So exosome is from mesenchymal cells. They're very high quality, and it's almost like this little messenger cell that goes wherever you inject it. I mean, I inject it into the scalp for hair thinning, hair loss. You inject it into the penis. You inject it into the vagina. And that tissue actually regenerates itself.
Yeah.
And so, it increases the flow, the blood flow, sensitivity. And once you do that, I mean, again, it's regenerative. So if you're good for, 5 years or a year, you're good to go.
So
He does need. He started taking boner pills
Oh, Cialis
What an
Viagra.
idiot.
We took it on the podcast one day.
Oh, cool. How'd it do? I mean, that's a weird question. Never mind. Don't answer that.
Well, it's hard to say.
It didn't do anything. We took the blue chews.
No, we took the blue chews. I, 30 milligrams of sildenafil.
Yeah, him took them. Magnus only one had a boner in the room.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't. No, I felt nothing. And then
So it went numb then, is what you're saying.
no.
I'm
Like
kidding.
there
I'm
was no like side effect to it. Like it just felt it was normal.
I did get a flushed face.
Yeah, it's a vasodilator. So there's different ways of going about getting erections. So vasodilation brings more blood to the area, right?
Yeah.
So, but you have to take a pill. So for this one, it's just increasing your blood supply, and then it's also causing neovascularization, which is
So you put a shot
growth.
right into your pecker?
Yeah.
On
yeah.
the like where at on
So
the
like the shaft, you're going to go right here, and then one in the center.
Oh.
holy shit! Excuse
But it really
me?
doesn't. It's not bad at all. It really is.
I mean,
feel
it's not your pecker.
the eyes. It's not mine. It doesn't hurt me at all. I mean, it's good. But it's almost like, you know how a little sensitive Botox is around that. It's not
It's
even
spicy?
that bad. No, it's not
Okay,
even that bad.
you do it on the sides of the shaft,
Yeah, and then one in the center,
and then one in the like
in the head. And the
on the
tip
top
there on the corona.
on the top.
Yeah. But it's really not bad.
You do those?
Yeah.
You see a lot of wieners at work?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Depending on how many.
Do you ever make fun
I
of
also
them?
used to no.
Like in your
But I
mind?
also used to work in derm, so it was like, we'd have to.
I mean, I
you'd
get it.
have to
I
freeze
know it's
off.
not something
Yeah,
sexual.
don't
I
really
get that.
care.
But I'm just saying it's just, that just seemed like a.
No, but it's
So-
great because it's regenerative and they can just, go on with their life and they don't have to take a pill every time.
So what is that? That just really helps with keeping.
To maintain
Penis
an
health.
erection. Yeah. Maintain an erection. It's almost like going back in time, right? 'Cause
It doesn't
you're
make it bigger.
regenerating that tissue. It can. That's a side effect. We don't do it. We don't say, hey, we're going to do this to make it bigger. But yes, it definitely can.
How much bigger?
Oh, I mean, let me pull out no, I don't know. Everyone's
I'm
different.
just talking
Do you
about
have any?
percentage.
Do you have any guys that come back and say it's gotten bigger?
Yes, yeah. But I don't follow up with a question. Well, how many inches?
You
centimeters?
should say. Let me
I'm
see
gonna
that. Let me
start
see that.
asking them
Let me see
now.
that hog.
Why don't
Yeah.
you start measuring them?
I'll start measuring them. That'll be part of the vitals.
I mean,
I'll have
some guys may be like,
I'll have our
dude,
nurse do that when they room them.
if I can go from 11 to 13, I'd be good.
There you go. Yeah. Poor Krista. I'll hook her up to the boom boom chair.
Yeah. Oh shit.
But then we also have
That is wild, though.
Magnum. So Magnum is putting toxin into the penis as well. So, as you get an erection, after the erection, you have a muscle that pulls everything back down again, right?
Yeah.
So you relax that muscle with toxin so that it's not really pulling back. So that increses your size, your girth, your sensitivity as well. So there's another procedure.
So there's guys that we always talk about. I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yes.
So
That makes them shower?
it makes them a shower.
More of a shower, yes. So we definitely, yeah. And they've noticed a big difference on that.
As much as I love you, I don't really know if I feel comfortable with you injecting my penis.
I'll go. I'll be in there.
I mean, I'll jump on a trampoline with no clothes on, but I don't know if I want you touching it.
Yeah, we have other providers that can do it too.
Are they hot? No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Totally kidding.
Female, male.
Totally kidding. Totally kidding.
How soft is that guy's hands? Man, how long has that been around?
Oh man, that's been around for a while. I mean, I was actually trained by the guy who invented it. Back before my first one,
Mr. Longshlong?
Longshlong.
Yeah,
last name?
Longshlong.
Dr. Longshlong.
Yeah, he's from,
Dr. Longshlong.
he's from Taiwan.
Yeah, I mean that was what, like 15 years ago?
Really?
Wait, not 15. Yeah, 10. Yeah, I mean it's been a while. It's nothing new. It's just no one really talks about it. Like now, people talk about it.
Dude, everybody wants a bigger schlong.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily make it bigger. It just makes it to where it doesn't.
No, she
retract.
said it makes it bigger.
Correct. Yeah.
Well,
it
I'm
does
talking
make it
about
bigger because you have
both
that
of them.
muscle. Yeah. And if you're doing exosomes, you're improving that tissue, right?
Yeah.
So that tissue will replenish itself. The blood supply increases, so it can enlarge from that. The other one is the muscle that pulls down. So if you're like not a shower, that muscle is a lot tighter, right? So then it allows it to relax.
I'm so tired of having two belly buttons.
That's rough.
Totally kidding.
So what does it do for the women?
For the women, so internally it heightens your orgasms. If you have like sensitivity issues, it makes it more sensitive in there. Helps with lubrication, just overall health too.
Oh yes.
And you got to shoot that inside of their shaft and tip of their penis too.
So too. One goes in the clitoris and then one goes into the vagina. But yeah,
God.
pretty much the same. The equivalent.
So can you do both of these procedures on men at the same time, like the exosome and?
Oh, the PRP and the exosome, or you're talking about the Magnum and the
Magnum
Yeah,
and
you
the-
can do them both.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends on what.
What does that
result
cost?
You're looking. Oh gosh, off the top of my head.
I mean, it's an expensive procedure. Or?
Yeah. I mean, it could be. I think it's like 2,100.
God dang.
Yeah.
I just wanted a half inch.
Yeah.
We had
The
to
half inch is only 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you went down to your knees, I think it's like 3,500.
Only
yeah. Only.
down to the knees.
It's special.
I-
New year.
I
New
am-
year, new you.
I am new year, new wiener. I love that.
Hey.
I want to get a license for this thing. You know, like boxers, they got to get a boxing license. I want a wiener license.
Wait, what for?
Just because this thing is deadly.
Okay.
You have to show a card.
Yeah.
When you go through TSA,
Yeah.
you're holding it's fine. You don't have
Yeah.
to pat me down.
Yeah. That's like, I got a hog. Got that hog in me.
Got that hog in me.
I don't see Magnus laugh this much.
Now that we're off of the immaturity.
What you think, Magnus? You learned a lot today?
Yeah, you've kept me busy looking up all these terms you've been using.
You're Googling. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
God, he's been licking his phone though. Ooh.
See, with medicine, it's like I don't get embarrassed. Like, I've literally done it all, and then we have to do rotations
I
for
know.
everything. So I like, and that's the thing. It's like I know being a female, it's like I guess you might be embarrassed to like pull it out and let me, but I don't really. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I've literally done coworkers, and that's the thing. It's like when you're in medicine, you're doing everyone else's procedures, and having to do it on each other. It's like
Yeah, man. Hey, dude. Seen one wiener, seen them all.
Yep. Yeah, like the
No,
same.
there's
That's
a
what
lot
Magnus
of
says.
there's a lot of different types of
Oh,
wieners.
just
dude.
Magnus always says that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different types of wieners.
Are there?
You ever seen Naked
is.
Attraction? We talked about that before.
What's that?
Naked Attraction, that show?
No. Yeah, you told me about that. I haven't seen it yet.
You need to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
It's it actually, so they date based on their naked body.
Yeah.
You can't see anything, but they start, like the dudes, there's 6 guys in these different pods. It starts from their waist down, and you just see all their wieners. But then they have like a lot of medical
nuts.
and stuff they talk about on the show about
About
things.
the differences?
Yeah.
See, and that's really fascinating.
It's a cool.
I remember learning about that.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a bunch of stuff like they did the men and women, and they actually have like, so once you stop being a child and laughing at the naked bodies, it's actually a very informative show. Like have a bunch of world studies about different.
Oh, that's neat.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's on.
that was really interesting.
It's on Max.
When we learned about, when we're talking about penises, you think your urethra is supposed to be dead on center, right? But sometimes it's up here. Sometimes
Really?
it's to the side on the butt. Oh, yeah. You have to learn about all of those variations.
I had to have surgery on my urethra.
Dude, Max's urethra's on his butthole. Oh,
Yeah.
What was that alien movie with the finger? Oh, was it?
E.T.
No, it was
E.T. peed
Scary
out his finger?
Movie. Scary movie.
oh yeah. Those are great shows.
Yeah.
He pees out of his
So
finger.
they can be in other spots.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And
Dude, that'd be a pain in the butt, huh?
but
Well, not if you're peeing on it.
I mean, well, no, because you can't control this.
That's what I'm
where
saying.
it's
You don't know.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so many variations, female, male. But the most interesting thing I think is that the male and the female are the exact same, right? So you all start out as females, right? That's why, because my son, my husband hates this. Like, Mommy, why do we have nipples? Oh, well, actually, that's redundant sexual, organ that didn't produce because we're all female. We start out female, and then depending on how much testosterone you get, then you transfer into a male. That's why you guys have nipples.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. And then anything within the mammary line, like within these 2 lines, like a cat, if you think of animals, anything within that, if you have anything, that's an extra nipple. So like you'll see like people have like a 3rd nipple, or if they have like a mole, it kind of looks like it starts. But
It's a nubbin.
Yeah, a nubbin. And then the clitoris continues to grow. That becomes your penis. So the clitoris is the head of the penis.
I told you you had a big
And the
clit.
ovaries come out as the testes. So I just find that fascinating.
It is.
It's interesting.
It is
right?
very
So
fascinating.
you mean to tell me science is saying there's only 2 genders?
Oh, stop. Ay, ay, ay.
I mean, it's true. Though.
But you never and sometime during that process, some things stop. You know? And there's a mix. So it's just very fascinating that we had to learn about that. And then they break down the whole process, like what happens.
Me and Vaughn both had gynecomastia.
You guys got gynecomastia?
We've had it fixed though.
Yeah, we got it done. Got it fixed. What is so funny?
I had it from.
You're serious?
Yeah, I had it from.
See, I don't know whether.
No, we really did.
No, really.
Yeah.
Was it from the testosterone having too much?
No, mine was from back in the day, taking supplements and steroids and
okay.
stuff early
Yeah.
on, my
Oh,
early 20s in those time frames, and just really screwed my shit up.
That was mine.
And I hate, dude. That was like the most. Like that's a super self-conscious thing for dudes.
Oh, of
Like, man, I
course.
hated it.
Yeah.
I feel like mine's coming.
Luckily,
back.
I was like, I had muscle and size to where it wasn't seen, it wasn't noticed much, but I could, and there were certain times where I would notice it, and like, dude, I hated it.
But that's
You
great.
see
You
it in
guys
t-shirts.
talk about that.
And so, and I would always look for things that, and I found a company in Houston that did it. That they did it. There was that body sculpting place. They did it through. They did it through. Wasn't the full surgery.
Oh, okay.
But they were like they did
Like
a
a closed
hole.
lap
They did a hole
through.
here, and sucked
Pulled
it
it
out
out.
through and pulled it through.
Oh, that's great.
And I'll show the pictures of my after, my before, like the after stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm talking about as far as a confidence boost. Like that's a big.
Oh, yeah.
It was huge. I dealt with it for years, and dude, I hated it. It was the most stressful thing.
You can see it in pictures, like
Dude,
and that's for a guy. I mean, I could be
know, I
wrong.
don't want that.
That is the hardest. You can't lose fat in your chest.
No,
And you can't hide it either.
no,
Right,
it's
yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, it was something I struggled with, and it was like, I never talked about it ever.
Yeah.
And then,
But I'm glad you're talking about it now,
Even when
'cause
I
some
told,
people don't realize
even when
they
I told
can fix
Crystal
it.
when I was doing it, she's like, "What you did?" Like she didn't agree at first. Like, why are you doing that? I can't believe it. I'm like, you have no idea. Like
Yeah.
this is something that bothers me to no end. I don't talk about it. I even talked about it with my own wife. I really never did because I was embarrassed about it, especially because I could have prevented it. Really.
Yeah.
But you can get that from puberty. There's different ways
Yeah,
you can get it.
absolutely.
Mine was through I jacked my hormones all up, my endocrine system at an early age. That's really what
Yeah.
did mine.
Yeah.
And that's what more you see of guys
Yeah.
that worked out and experimented and did different things. That's where, and if you weren't doing what's it called? A meritizer?
Oh, aromatizing.
Aromatizer, you doing certain
Yeah.
things or post-cycling right.
Yep. Yeah.
It
You
really
gotta
can
be
screw you
careful
up.
with that.
And so, I was done. You're young, you don't think about that stuff. And so, it's been almost 2 years now
Okay.
since I've had it done. And
Been a year for me.
yeah, because I did it first. I was like, dude,
Oh,
I found this place. I was like, because I said, hey, I found the place. He's like, dude, let me know. And then I did it, and then he went
Good. Yeah.
best
Best thing you
$6,000
did
I ever
for
spent in my life,
yourself. Yeah.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no price on that. Like when you feel
No,
yourself.
dude, I would have paid double
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Because it's just that much of a thing that it bothered me so much. And I was like, man, I don't want to do a full deal because it's like, I know it's a big
Yeah.
surgery.
The large cut. and
This was already a
incision.
big surgery too, but it was like, I was awake, took some medicine. I was on those, I had a laughing gas thing in my mouth the whole time,
Yeah.
but like you're up and you feel all the
It was
stuff,
a
and
good time.
it is rough. That's part of it.
Yeah.
But and then I found this one day. I was like, oh shit, man. I was like, I think I found something I want to do. I went to a consultation. I was like, man, let's do it, dude. And literally 2 weeks later, they're like, you come in now, the surgical fee is waived.
Oh, nice.
So save like $1,500.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Good.
And I went in and did it.
How long was the recovery?
I wore that vest for like a month,
Okay.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That
Really?
vest with
That-
the pads. That was tough. Luckily, it was cold when I did it, so I was able to layer
That's
up,
good,
and I
'cause
wasn't like because I'm going to work. I don't want to have to explain that to
No.
when I'm doing that. And so, but yeah, the recovery was pretty easy. Keep it clean, do the stuff like I just made sure help with the swelling.
What about soreness? How long did that take?
That took a while. I still have a little bruising. That was that. I think that's it might have been a year and a half. The bruising pretty much gone away. Everything's done. I had a little bit of bruise on one side, but that lasted the longest for me. Man, my bruising was.
Oh yeah,
That's rough.
He was. I think just had to get rough on me just from especially one side.
Yeah.
Which mine may have been worse. I don't know how that goes, or just everybody's body's different.
I know. Honestly, like even when I'm doing the face or
You just don't know.
One side is always harder than
Really?
the other.
Yeah. So, but I'm
Tougher.
telling you, like it was one of those things where I was like, man, I wish I'd have done it sooner. That's how bad it like.
Yeah.
Mentally, it messed with you, you know.
Yeah.
And I just never talked about it at
Yeah.
all, you know.
But good. I'm glad you took care of it and you did it for yourself.
Yeah, no, like I said, that's I'm a firm believer in taking care of your body and doing things. And like I said, I was in shape, but that would bother me so much. So I'm like, well, you I had to take my shirt off.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be like that. You want to go on vacation and enjoy
Exactly, you're not be worried about that. So yeah, it's a big deal, man. There's a lot of, like I said, men deal with body issues just as much or more than women. You know, I mean, you've seen that.
I hope mine's not coming back. That would suck. I'll just get PAC implants.
Do it.
You do those too?
We'll give you a penis shot in your pecs.
Hell yeah. Got it.
Well, regenerative.
I
Yeah,
got
that's true.
get me the
You
old
still want that to regenerate though.
get me a dick
Right
pic.
into the muscle, not into the fat.
Oh well, wherever you need to put needles, just put them. Okay, we'll figure it out at the end.
So what else do you do there that's something new? Because you said you could kind of do everything there.
Yeah, I do
so anything
everything.
Anything that
It's really-
you're bringing to this area that's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know the hair loss stuff was cool because I remember
yeah.
I've had some buddies that's actually done the surgery where they take the strip and but I sent them your stuff. I got a couple guys that I know. I sent them your link. That was after when I first started with you. I was like, man, I said you need to check this stuff out.
Yeah.
But that seemed like pretty cool,
Even if they
huh?
have that transplant done, they can still do the injectables right on top of it.
That's what I'm saying. Because it looks like
just helps, bring more, vascularization, collagen, everything, and it helps to kind of like fertilize that hair follicle too. So that can help as well. Because I mean, honestly, hair transplant's great. Move it up, get it going.
I saw a guy at the airport the other day that had a hair transplant because you can still see the strip where they did it, and it's like he shaves his head. I'm like, why would you shave your head and get a hair transplant? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Well, maybe he just had it done and they had to shave it all down, and it was still growing out.
I mean,
or it didn't work for him.
I don't know. I should have asked him.
But like I said, that's a big issue for men. Like, dude, I'm telling you what, if I start losing my hair, it'd be the first thing I do.
Yeah,
you
wouldn't just go bald like Jax.
Dude, my hair is a big part of my life.
Yeah,
I would be devastated.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
I would be.
I would be the first person in my family to ever go bald, and that would really piss me off too. But no, I would be if I started losing my hair. There was a time in college when I was something wasn't going right, but like for a month, I started like losing hair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I started freaking out. Like it made me depressed, thinking I'm gonna lose my hair.
You undergo a lot of stress. Usually about like 6 months to the day, you can nail it on the head. Like, because patients will come in, I started losing hair. Were you stressed out? Did something major in your life happen 6 months ago? And they're like, yeah, I went through a divorce. It was terrible. Or, someone passed away, or this happened at work. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That can definitely happen. So if you had a major stressor, that may have been the cause.
I don't know. You have all of the above, you start losing everything.
Yeah. I would be terrified if I started losing my hair.
I lost my armpit hair.
Yeah. I want to do it just preventatively. I'm not thinning, but I'm like, oh.
Just to get it.
I'm like, I just don't want to lose anything, or where you could start to see your scalp. We have a lot of females, too, that come in and get it, especially on the line here, just to thicken it up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think we need to do something real quick since we have you in. So our sponsor is Good Ranchers. Mm-hmm. And we've got a new segment we've been doing. So we're going to try this new segment with you. We've been doing a segment from our sponsor, Good Ranchers, called What's Your Beef? I don't know if you've seen our recently things. So every week, us and a guest, we have guests on, we ask them, what's your beef? It can be anything.
Anything.
Maybe
something that irritates me.
Maybe something that's in your profession that you see, and I don't know what it might be, but like, what's your beef?
My beef. I mean, if it's professional, I would say really patient education when they're putting patients on medications. We already talked about that. I mean, or just people doing stuff that's medical, performing medical procedures, and you're not a medical professional, or doing it safely.
Okay.
Because I do a lot of corrections, and it's like, oh, where'd you go? And it's just like, oh, what did they use? You know, because then it's scary trying to correct something and you don't know what product's in there, you know.
Yeah.
I would say that. Just do your research. Do your research. Make sure, you know, you're seeing a medical provider that can prescribe the medication, because it comes down to that. It's pretty easy. And then just asking all those questions, or if they're not giving you, you know, patient education, that's a big red flag, you know, because these medications can make you very sick, where people are ending up at the hospital. Just like one of my patients, he's an ER doc, and he sees that all of the time, and going over everything, and he's like, no, these patients have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or they're given the wrong doses.
Yeah.
You know? Or they're giving, oh my God, okay, this is a beef.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, just remembered. Patients, okay, so patients went, they saw a Facebook ad, they all worked together. They're like, hey, let's do this weight loss stuff. All right, cool. They had to prepay. They go, this person is not a medical provider. This is a prescription.
Yeah.
That would be illegal, right?
Yeah.
They go, this person is there, and they are given the medication in a Ziploc bag with the syringes already pre-filled. You have no idea. They had no idea what their dose was, what the medication was.
Yeah.
And then was further told, oh, you guys can work for me. You guys want to sell this stuff? You don't have to be a doctor. And she was like, instantly, I was terrified. We had already paid for it. So she came in and she's like, I should have known better, but everyone at work was doing it. And she's like, so we're talking about it, and it's like, oh my God, that's scary. And she's like, I'd rather just do it the right way and do it with you.
Yeah.
So we went over everything. They're like, yep, she didn't go over that. She didn't go over the patient education, anything like that. And it's like, and those are the patients that a lot of them, unfortunately, wind up in the ER because they've over-injected themselves. No one's told them that they need to eat. They're just starving themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Or they're injecting into the wrong place.
Yeah, misinformation is a big thing. Even in any kind of field, like, you know, every person is different. You can't subscribe the same thing to the masses without doing some research, or even on the patient. You got to be smarter than just taking
it's a medication.
What the doctor says without asking questions.
Yeah.
Or doing some research stuff. It's so easy to do some quick research.
Yeah. And there was no patient screening. They didn't talk about gastroparesis. They didn't, you know, I mean, and in one of the studies, you know, the rats got thyroid cancer. They didn't even screen them for thyroid cancer. Nothing was done. And if this patient had a thyroid nodule and wasn't checked out, I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Which we haven't had that issue, but you still have to take these precautions. So if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Don't take that risk.
And Facebook's not the gospel.
And and it's like, and if you have to prepay for the entire medication, like usually you have to have an appointment to establish care with a provider. Just like with me, you'll have to make an appointment. You have all these papers you have to fill out. You know, there's a questionnaire about all of these things. And then I review that questionnaire. I go over your medications. And then like we talked about today, I go over all the patient education, what the medication is going to do, you know. And then also, you know, once you're on it, you're not going to be on it forever. You're going to get to your goal, but then we have to wean you off.
Right.
You can't just stop at cold turkey. And then those people, they're ravenous and they gain all the weight back. And it's like, well, can't do that. There's a process to this.
Holy hell.
So definitely that would be my beef, because this thing has blown up, right?
Yep.
Everyone wants to do this. And now there's a bunch of online forums, you know, which I do telehealth.
Yep.
And that's totally normal, but we are an actual practice. You can come in to physically see us as well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, you know, and I won't say the names of them, but, you know, go onto our website, see a doctor, telehealth. We personally actually had one of our nurses do it and recorded the whole process just to see what was going on. No patient education. Did not ask those important questions.
Yeah.
Just given the medication. So it's like,
Golly.
really?
That's so unsafe.
Yeah, and I'm like, and these are actual medical providers. It's like, but they're hiring these people like,
well,
you can tell they were brand new.
It's just quantity. They're just pushing it out there.
Numbers.
They don't care about the quality of the health care of the people.
So it's like, you're in medicine. Like, I personally went into it because I wanted to help people. I know it sounds super cheesy, but like, I took my, I don't know if I told you the story, but like I took my grandma to her appointment, and she, like, blonde hair, blue eyes, the sweetest little thing, little old lady, you know, doesn't speak any English. So we go in because we're like, we have no idea what's going on with her health, and she's not really understanding. And, you know, legally they need to give her a translator, which they weren't. So I go into this, and I'm like 18 years old, The doctor comes in, kind of talks to the MA, and then, doesn't acknowledge me or anything or introduce herself. So I thought that was very rude. And then talks to my grandma and says, okay, your medication's ready, you can pick it up at the pharmacy. And that was it. And she's walking out and I was like, excuse me, what is the medication for? You didn't explain. I'm her granddaughter. I had to introduce myself and explain everything. And then she said, oh, it's for her kidney failure. I was like, excuse me? She's in kidney failure and you didn't do an exam? I'm not a medical provider. I didn't know anything at the time, but you would think you'd be doing a physical exam and talk to the patient, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. I was pissed.
Is that what kind of catapulted your health career?
Absolutely. Yeah, because I was going to go into radiology, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going for MD. That's what I want to do. Like, this is ridiculous that people are treated this way, And then she was treated as though she was an idiot because she couldn't speak English. Yeah. She's not. It's just a language barrier.
Yeah.
That is it,
Wow. Yeah.
But just to be dismissed like that, it really lit a fire under me. So then that's
good. Yeah.
I was going to go do MD, and then I worked with, 15 orthopedic surgeons, and they were like, no, do PA. Like, if you didn't know what specialty you wanted to do, because with MD, you have to do residency, and then you're stuck.
Yeah.
With PA, you do everything they do in
kind of more
med school.
fluid.
Yeah, so it's still med school, but just in 2 years, so it's a bit intense, but then you don't have to do a residency.
Right.
But you can do residencies, but you can switch at any time, which is nice. So that's where they guided me on that, because at the time, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've always said this, that capitalism doesn't work in healthcare, unfortunately.
And if that's how you practice, you shouldn't be in it.
I mean, you think about it. They're wanting volume, not quality. Yeah. And there's a lot of clinics that you'll see in like the let's call it the poorer areas of Houston, where they're just, pop up on the side of the road and you see just one person after another, after another, after another. And of course, most of them probably don't have health insurance and it's cash and carry, but they're just, how can you have a conversation with a patient that you've never worked with, or maybe a few times, in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
It does not work. And
you can't. I mean, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
And I've had that feedback with patients where they're like, you've taken so much time with me. Because that's the thing. It's like, I want to, like, you are my patient. I'm going to have this time, especially for new patients. We're going to go over everything. Why are you doing this? Why, if they're there for weight loss, what's your goal? You know, is there a wedding? What prompted this on? And keep track of that. And it's like, just keep your goal in mind. But to get to know the patients and help them. Yeah.
And then the medical,
just don't get it.
Back in the day, I feel like, now there's caps on medical malpractice. And I believe it's significantly smaller than what it used to be. And I think, I really do. I think that there's a lot of doctors and surgeons who take advantage of and, kind of, okay, I could safely do 5 procedures today, but you know what? I've got vacation. I want to do 7. And I think a lot of that happens just because of the capitalism of it all. Yeah. Anyway, I could fix all that, but nobody wants to hear it. And it would all start with the insurance companies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If I was a president, insurance companies would hate me.
And what they're motivated. Yeah, I know. That's sad.
Dale, you done texting over there?
Yeah, I got a customer's card.
Tell them to screw off. You got crap you got to do. So, but no, that's a good beef. I like that one.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely something I mean, even not being in the medical field, you see that.
Yeah.
And people believe everything,
I know. Or they're like, and I tell them when I'm explaining injection sites, I don't care what you saw on TikTok. They're injecting into their stomach. Do not do it. Because that's where they're getting their medical advice from. Or they're like, I love when they're like, oh, so my friend is on this medication. She's on this and she's losing it and I'm not. I want what she's on. And I'm like, you can't.
Yeah.
You will be on the floor vomiting.
Exactly.
We have to go by you. And then I hate when patients are putting this pressure on themselves and they're looking at someone else. Well, they lost this much. Why am I not? It's like, are you working out? Like we told you, lift weights, are you eating well? Well, I'm walking. Well, that's great. But you really want to build your muscle. Like you're paying for this medication, do the work and you will get there. But then they're doing everything right too sometimes, and they're still comparing them to someone else. And it's like, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, no.
I hate when people do that.
And it compounds
so
them. It compounds their insecurity.
Exactly.
I mean, there's many times I knew a guy in college who was a workout fanatic, and he never he was never ripped. He never looked like he had a bunch of muscle, but he was strong, one of the strongest people I've ever seen. But he's just genetics. A lot of genetics people don't understand. It's like
very true.
You got genetics, and that's just
You never
how
know.
you're built.
I do want to come see you for the food allergy thing.
Oh yeah, that's.
I've been curious about. I didn't know where to
that
go.
is
So
interesting.
you do that. I'm
we
glad.
have that.
Okay, good.
We have everything.
I'm allergic. I got my food allergy done when I was younger. I don't think it changes over the years, but I was allergic
It
to
can.
tomatoes. And still to this day, if I eat red sauce, like it messes my stomach up. But like,
Yeah,
I got
like food sensitivity.
I love red sauce.
Yeah.
I do want to do that.
Yeah. That
I'll
was
get what
huge.
I'll get what you do that.
I can't process canola oil. I couldn't figure out what it was.
Really?
And then I get my test back, and I'm like, "That's my husband. What are you cooking with?" And he's like, "Canola." And I'm like, "Oh, please don't cook with that anymore." And I'm like showing him, but it's really enlightening to know exactly what is irritating you, because you would think, oh, this is healthy, but I'm reactive to it.
Milk is a new thing for me. I
never liked
I have
milk.
to full blown say that I'm probably lactose intolerant at this point.
Majority of the population is. I remember in school we learn, you have these two enzymes, and I cannot remember what they are, but you stop kind of producing them as you get older because there's no need for us to be drinking milk.
Right.
It's not
We're the
natural,
only
right?
I love
mammal
cereal.
that weans off of
Continues.
ours and then drinks another.
Another
it doesn't.
animals.
It doesn't.
It's so strange.
I
But
know. I
love
said the same thing.
cheese.
But I love
Yeah.
cereal.
I love
And
cheese.
if you think about that, like it's a lactating animal. The baby's supposed to double its weight in a week or so,
Yeah.
Things like that. And we're drinking it and making everything out of it. And it's like, cheese is so good.
I mean, cheese, yeah.
So it's like, then you can take your lactase with it, which
I guess it was such a big push at one point saying, God, drink your milk and got milk, all the bullshit. But you don't need it. It doesn't it's not like a supplement you need in your body.
We get our supplements in other ways.
You can get vitamin
other
D elsewhere.
forms,
Yeah.
Correct.
Vitamin D, you can get that from the sun, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that D? Yeah, it is D.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so if you want to find you've got you're Atlas Premier.
Atlas Premier Health. My Instagram is, if you want to directly message me, that's the easiest way.
Direct message you, okay.
Yeah, it's my full name, Angelica Jackson _PAC. And Angelica it's just like Angelica, just pronounced in Spanish.
And you got a new website, right?
Yep, and I got a new website, so it's just angelicajackson.com.
Okay.
Super easy, and then from there you can book, you can buy the supplements if you're on the medication. You can kind of run through literally everything. Sorry, I'm beating this up. You can run through everything that I do, but then I'll have all the patient education on there as well.
How often are you at the clinic? Like 3 days a week?
4 to 5.
4 to 5?
Yeah. Yep. 4 to 5.
So we'll share all your stuff, but what I want to make sure is I know we had some people sent to you last time.
Yeah.
We had some fans of the show that from the podcast. They
That
came
was
to you from
great.
Houston, so
Yeah.
we want to make sure that we'll make sure to share everything, and we're promoting this, and we'll make sure to share all your stuff to people to find you. But like I said, she can help anybody in Texas,
Yeah.
and then she's got
anyone in
providers.
Texas, and then all over the United States.
Yeah. So, but
it's
she would
very
be.
limitless.
Yeah. I mean, if you listen to this, I mean, we learn a lot with you.
Yeah.
And I think that people should go with people that they feel like they're getting taken care of the right way.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you're doing that. I think people will want to talk to you. But like I said, we'll direct everybody your way. And like I said, let's let them know that we sent you from the podcast.
Yeah,
And
for sure. Yeah.
anything
And
we do to help you out, we want to
Yeah.
make sure that you're getting taken care of.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah. And it's just easy because you can do the telehealth, which is
Yep.
great.
Telehealth's cool.
Yeah. And then we mail everything to you. So like if you're on testosterone, we can mail it straight to your house.
Yeah.
If you want to do the lipoburn B12, we can straight to your house. And we have really good pricing on all the weight loss.
What is lipoburn B12? That's the shot stuff. That's the other.
Yep. So
It's like a
just
metabolism thing.
Once weekly, help you get some energy and kind of break through with the weight. And so patients, like, once we run your blood work, we'll see, like, if you're low on B12, injectable is the best way to go.
Yeah.
Other than that, methylated B12, where it's kind of a chewable, sublingual is best. So it just depends. If you don't want to inject yourself, we have the tablets as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But just a lot. And then not even like just with weight loss. If you don't want to inject yourself, we have pills and other forms of weight loss as well that they can do.
Okay. I was going to see about that. What do you think people that are scared to inject themselves, which doesn't bother me. I've done that multiple times. It's easy. I'm not scared of needles, but some people are very,
pill forms. Yeah.
some people are weird about trying to.
Yeah. No, some people get freaked out or they'll have their spouse do it.
Oh yeah. I sometimes if I can't find a vein, I just do it between my toes.
Hell yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's where it's at right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, your toes will get real skinny.
Oh god, yeah. I've got
Dude,
grip if
he's
you're a
got
runner.
fat toes.
Oh man, just golly.
You get a pea shot in your big toe.
Ooh, a plantar shot.
I want that thing to be a grower
Yeah.
Ooh,
and a shower.
Yeah,
I mean, they do exosomes for the plantar.
he's got it on his
Yeah.
left heel.
So you don't do adrenochrome. We'll just make sure.
Do what?
Adrenochrome.
Oh,
you don't-
no.
Okay,
no,
good.
No.
So do you know what
That's a
adrenochrome
negative.
is?
No.
Okay,
and I
good.
don't even want to know.
Well, I'm gonna.
What you guys are alluding
I'm gonna.
to, I'm like, I don't.
I'm gonna send it to you.
It's a joke.
Thank you.
It's really
It's
not.
real.
It's not
no,
a joke.
I'm
at
saying it
all.
as a joke.
Oh, okay.
It is. I will send it to you. It's one of the most vile things you'll ever hear in your entire life.
Oh, fantastic.
But-
Thank you for the traumatization.
But here's the thing, though. It is centered around health, which I'll tell you after we get off this. I just don't want to get.
Don't say it on the air.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
have
not
a good
going
feeling
to.
about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got one last little segment we got to do.
Oh yeah, unsolicited. So we talked. I told you before we started recording, we have a new podcast sponsor, Yo Pretty Boy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They have
Excited to check them out.
they have the revival cream for men. It's men and women. It's actually they said it's for both.
Yeah.
But we've been doing that, and so we got a new segment we're doing with them as well called Unsolicited Advice from the Boys. And so each week we kind of do you have one or you want to see if you have one? I don't know. We're offering unsolicited advice to people.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you have any unsolicited
Yeah,
advice?
especially for you men.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and this can be about anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think I saw a meme on this. You know, like the toilet roll paper,
Yeah.
how it goes like this,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it looks like bangs.
Yep.
That's the right way. When it's the other way
Mullet.
around, mullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Stop
pro
doing that.
I'm pro mullet. America.
No.
No.
No. That's
So,
so
you
frustrating.
want bangs?
bangs?
Okay.
Not the under. That's just frustrating.
No, I agree. No,
And toilet seat down. I almost fell in the toilet yesterday.
We're gonna argue.
And I was like,
we're gonna argue about
I
that.
forgot to
Okay,
yell at him
so
about that this morning.
What are your thoughts on
And
that,
I have
Lauren?
trained my sons to put it down.
Okay.
I was like, there is no other way.
Just close
I'm gonna
the lid.
talk
Just
about.
put the lid
Close
down.
the
I'm gonna talk about you. and
Yeah,
your-
exactly. Just close the top lid.
I'm gonna talk about you and your husband real quick. Y'all are in a good relationship, and everything's about compromise, right? So now we're gonna go into seat repetition. Okay, so here's what happens. Your husband walks into the restroom. He picks up the toilet seat.
Yep.
He pees. He puts the toilet seat back down. You have no repetition. That's not a fair thing.
Yeah. Well, you're
You
lazy.
just go in.
Did you make a human with your body?
I shot
I
a bunch
did.
out.
I
Because-
shot a ton of them, and you took one.
No.
You know, or she took one.
I think that's
Oh.
Not
completely
you.
fair. You know,
I mean,
after everything,
We shouldn't- this
about.
shouldn't
think
go to
about
childbirth.
that. Oh, it should. It
Bullshit.
should.
that's
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
Stop.
Yeah, no,
That's
it always-
victim mentality.
That is the least you guys could do, besides throw flowers and rose petals at our feet as we walk.
Shit, that is entitlement. That is entoiletment.
Toilet man.
There we go. Hashtag entoiletment.
Seat repetition. So you know what? Tell your
And we
husband.
do, because if like he said, like Magnus said, you put the toilet seat down.
Leave the
so
lid closed at all
everyone
times.
closes the lid. You know, we got the automatic one, so it doesn't slam. You just boop, and it closes.
And you can go,
And I have to open it. I close it. So at our house, we open it.
You're talking
and we
about the
close
top
it.
lid?
Yeah.
One of the most
So
overrated things in a
everyone-
bathroom is the
no,
top lid.
What is that
it's
supposed to
not.
do anyway?
It's not, especially if you have kids. They're in there talking, oh, we dropped our iPad in the toilet, or we knocked something down, or, another toilet roll paper gets thrown down there, and you're like,
Dude.
it should always be closed. You want those
Don't toss the
little
mullet in there.
particles out,
Okay,
you know?
so okay.
See?
No, I'm not. I'm still not going to agree. Because you have
Just remember, I'm going to be stabbing you in the face later.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to pull out the 18 gauge.
shit.
That's just like whenever my husband tries to talk crap before I'm doing his
Dude.
injection, I was like, do you really want to go there with me right
Yeah.
now? And one time I darted him. He was like, I saw that in the mirror.
Oh.
He's like, did you just? I was like, you found out.
All right.
Real
Well.
quick.
All right. Give me a minute. I'm going to go lift the toilet seat up.
You mean bring it down?
Yes, bring it down.
There we
But anyway, that's great unsolicited advice. I love that.
Yeah.
That is good unsolicited advice. But I'm still not
What's
gonna do
my
it.
unsolicited advice? Do you guys have anything?
You know, I don't have any. I don't think.
Mom's gonna be y'all need to put the toilet seat back up when y'all get done, but
Yeah.
I should just leave it. Wait.
damn women.
Women start putting the toilet seat back up so
Treat your king like a king.
men can
like a
pee.
king. Yeah.
Golly.
I mean, we gave you all the best 30 seconds of your life for your kid.
Exactly. 30? Shit.
He's
That was
an
like 4
overachiever.
times.
I ain't trying to. After the 4 times she took.
Yeah. That was over a week. Yeah. That was when your basal thermometer was high or whatever the hell.
Oh, yeah, your pants.
What?
Isn't that something?
Your temperature.
Yeah.
Your body temperature?
When they're ovulating. There's a certain time.
Things change very slightly because now I'm hearing the Apple Watches are monitoring that. Will tell
Oh,
you
really?
when you're going to have a period or when you're ovulating. Yeah.
Dude, I need to see when I'm having my first period.
Could you imagine if men had periods?
Oh.
Oh God, that'd be terrible.
That would suck.
Yeah.
That would
You
suck.
guys would be so dramatic.
Oh, I would.
'Cause you guys are already dramatic. Like you guys don't understand pain, and we have to go through it every month. But then that would make you stronger. You guys would probably be okay.
No, I would be, if I had to have a period, it'd be horrible. And that's one thing. I would
see you.
I would not hold back, and I'd let
see
everybody
you.
know.
Yeah. I'm gonna die.
I would let everybody know.
Vaughn's very dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
I wish
Let
you'd have
everybody know.
Oh yeah.
I'd wear a shirt that
Call
says I'm
out.
on my period.
Yeah.
For two-
Shark Week.
2
Shark
weeks.
Week. Shark Week.
It's a chunky day. You didn't watch that movie though.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it.
Looks like red grits.
Oh, come on. Oh.
That was gross. Sometimes I gross myself out.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun.
Well, I'm not gonna eat for the rest of the day.
No, you're fine.
Magnus, you got a beef this week? You always have some good ones.
I used up all mine.
No unsolicited advice.
All I can think about is Fortnite. That's all. I'm sorry.
Dude, this dude's a gamer.
Fortnite. Oh,
He's
really?
addicted to Fortnite. You got a shot for that?
Yeah.
I mean, probably. You know,
We need to put-
the
you know-
GLP-1s. They take care of all addiction, kind of.
I
What is
It's a
that?
miracle drug. The semaglutide, tirzepatide.
I know what we could do.
It's supposed to help with addictions.
Let's
There we go.
inject some Botox into his thumbs,
Good idea.
and then he can't. I mean, he can't.
He can't physically.
Can't stick it. Can't stick it.
Good idea.
All right. Well, it's been fun having you again, Angelica.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks for
you
having
very
me.
So we got Angelica Jackson, Miss PAC. So make sure to go follow her on Instagram. Go to her website. Make sure that we will share everything for you. And we want to get more people in to see you. Go to somebody that's going to take care of you. And Angelica and her team's going to take care of you. So
Yep. Thank you.
want to make sure that we get you taken care of. And
Yes.
then I need to come see. I'm going to do the food allergy test. I do want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And even like out of state or anywhere else too, we can send anyone to a LabCorp.
Okay.
All over, which makes it really convenient.
Yeah.
If you're not around.
Yeah, so anybody. I mean,
Perfect.
anybody. We got people listening from all over the United States. Make sure to take advantage of, if you talk to you, like, you learn a lot from you. So you should want a doctor that's going to enlighten you and
Yeah.
give you the right information because dude, there's so many out there.
Education's 90% of it.
It's, yeah.
And having that connection, like I love, like within our EMR system, patients can directly message me at any time, which is
Okay.
great. And I like having that communication because it's like, you have a question, let me know.
Yeah.
Don't go Google.
Yeah.
What you should increase your dose to, because that's on me. I need to because
Yeah.
we've had that too, and I'm like, you messaged me. You need anything, or like if before they book, they can message me on Instagram. I love having that connection.
All right, good. Go to angelicajackson.com. The best way to
Yeah.
find everything from you, right?
Yeah, everything's on there.
So good.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We will
Thank you.
share that. Thanks for the beef and the unsolicited
Yeah.
advice this week.
Yeah, yeah.
please
Let's see if you
continue
guys
to-
follow through.
I'll send
Please.
you the pretty boy. So you need to get your
Oh,
husband
yeah,
some.
yeah.
And
Let him try it
please-
out.
I wanna
Please
try that out.
continue to lift a toilet seat.
Yeah, take care of Jax. Okay.
Yeah.
He's quite spoiled.
Okay. Good. Lucky him.
Well, a little more spoil is not going to be too bad.
Nope, can't get his head too big.
Thank
funny.
you very
All right,
much. It
yep.
was great seeing you again.
Thanks for coming in.
you.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
See ya.
The feast. Uncle Dale Vaughn, Magnus, we on the beat. Cause we tipping on 4 bowls, wrapped in 4 bowls. Podcast too ill, Magnus take off his clothes. Good ranches be